Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing the Omega Speedmaster Broad Arrow Rattrapante. This is a split-second chronograph built on the Speedmaster Broad Arrow platform, and it's darn close to high horology based on the presence of a Frederic Piguet-based coaxial chronometer caliber. It is a large watch, launched in 2006, 44.25 millimeters in diameter, 15.6 millimeters thick, 49.7 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll zoom out, throw this on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and you can see the watch wears well, though large. I believe you need a wrist at least my size to wear this. Any smaller and you're probably going to have some lug overlap issues. You can see they're not overlapping my wrist here, not quite, but they're getting close. The watch is fairly thick, and with a cantilevered bezel profile, really tight cuffs are going to get hung up, but you should be okay with a sport jacket. Again, I'm going to recommend you wear this watch on a wrist no smaller than 16 centimeters circumference, and the bigger the better in terms of fit. We have a brown calfskin strap with some bolstering to add volume in the middle, close to the lugs. We have a contrasting stitch. You can see there's a sheer cut side, calfskin on the bottom. You can see it's a brand new Omega factory strap. Taking a quick look, there's a buckle that's all of high polish, twin trigger release. Press both triggers, it pops open, and then you can see that it uses a clasping system. You actually stick the strap through, you buckle it in, and once that's done, the strap and the extra length are all hiding underneath. There's no extra length flapping in the breeze. There's no need for minder loops. It's a very clean setup. This is a long-running clasp and a very, very good one. Again, the twin triggers ensuring it will not pop open inadvertently. The case will be familiar to Omega fans since the early 60s. The lyre-style lugs with the inward and the outward bevel have been distinctive and universally recognized. We have a longitudinal satination along the case. The outer bevels of the lugs are polished, and that polish runs end to end. We have a shear guard profile that first debuted with the Speedmaster Professionals back in the early 60s. So we have a little bit of a recess of the pushers and the crown into the case flank to protect them better. The underside of the bezel is polished. The top of the bezel is satinated metallic. It can be used to gauge the speed of an object, such as a car, across a kilometer, but we also have a pulsation scale inboard of that on the dial. So you can use the tachymeter to gauge speed, and you can use the pulsation scale to gauge the pulse per minute of a patient. Now we have a lot of different colors here. We have silver white, we have black, we have red. Lots to love here on this broad arrow style dial, where we do have, in fact, a broad arrow style hour hand. It is a split seconds chronograph, which allows me to distinguish between two separate events and then measure the interval between them. And the way this works is you always have that second split hand that's powered by a separate column wheel. This watch has two, and it allows you to time events such as the crossing of a start-finish line by cars around a racetrack or runners at a track meet. And so you know each time around whether the gap is waxing or waning. Now, it's a high-grade dial, as you can see, with rhodium-plated steel hands and applique indices. Take a good look at the indices, and you can see they're actually trapezoidal in profile and faceted on their side, which gives them a wonderful twinkling complexity. We also have applied Omega logo and marquee, and you can see that the dial actually features a number of unconventional sectors in the way it's designed. We have sub-registers for things like constant seconds, chronograph minutes, chronograph hours, and it is a coaxial chronometer. We have a sapphire crystal with a dramatic boxed profile designed to look a little bit like a Moonwatch plexi, but on the reverse side we have something no Moonwatch does. No, not the display case back. Some Moonwatches do have that. We have a double column wheel split-second coaxial chronometer caliber. This is the Frederic Piguet 1286, doing business highly modified as the Omega 3612. The 1286 and 1285 are the thicker, more robust versions of the well-known Frederic Piguet 1185 automatic integrated chronographs. Now, all this is water resistant down to 100 meters, which is twice a Moonwatch. So on the right strap, you can absolutely take this swimming. I promised you two column wheels. You can see one of them at play right there. And the watch actually features two. You can see the second one just below my finger. So it is a formidable array of tech. Automatic winding with a 52-hour power reserve. It has two column wheels, which makes for very crisp feel and action. And then it also has a vertical clutch engagement system. So you can see when I start it, there's no jump or stagger to the chronograph seconds hand, and it always resets perfectly to the index. And the nice thing about that is that there's just no extraneous play in a vertical clutch, so it doesn't move around and jump and add time or subtract time the way a lateral clutch can. And also, you can just leave it running full-time if you want. There's no additional wear or tear when running a vertical clutch full-time. It is a movement that features a free-sprung balance for greater durability and precision of adjustment. Adjusted in 5 positions, it's a COSC-certified Swiss chronometer. It also has a coaxial escapement as envisioned by George Daniels and industrialized by Omega. It results in greater power reserve, improved chronometry, and ultimately reduced maintenance requirements. And it is a formidable movement that's actually finished to a substantially higher standard than most Omegas. There's bluing, there's black polishing, there's engine turning, there's Côte de Genève satination. There's even a more than passable bevel, better than what you get on a standard Omega movement. So all of this is quite intriguing. As an example of a moonwatch verging on high horology, there's an awful lot to love. It even has some features that a moonwatch will not have, such as a stop seconds, so you can halt the balance and set the watch to a reference time, and a quick set for the date, so you can rapidly cycle and correct the date should you need to. All of this pivoting on 38 joules. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.